Welcome back to The Sage, and thank you for having been with us. In the previous segment, we had a wonderful discussion with these very illustrious gentlemen on set with us. We talked about Afikpo Secondary School in Ebonyi State, their alma mater, where they had all gone to and received wonderful educations that have indeed set them on their present course of life. And of course, many, many more others whom they had excited in the previous episode. But recently, in recognition of what they felt they owed that beautiful school, they had decided to have a massive homecoming and to indeed hold a singular event during that homecoming. I am going to turn to them once again and ask them to please share that exciting experience with us. I don't know who wants to talk about it.
Yeah, the national president.
I think we'll talk about the event because it was never happened before. Combining,
Yeah, the convention,
annual
conference, and the homecoming. Yeah, what happened is every 3 years we go back to the school in what we call a homecoming.
Okay.
So
3 yearly reunions.
Yes, it's
okay.
Every 3 years, and we mix with the students. We eat in the dining hall.
Okay.
We go to the assembly hall in the morning with them, and it usually lasts 2 days. The third day will be a Sunday. We worship with them and we break up. It serves many purposes.
Mm-hmm.
They begin to model themselves after the people they see.
Yeah, they see distinguished
They hear
elders.
they hear names and they get to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that somebody had 6 aggregates in school sat, you hear it by name and the person shows off life. So it is an exciting experience. While we are there, we play novelty matches, cricket, soccer with the students, because cricket is
Who usually wins?
Oh, well, the students are younger, so cricket was very popular sport in the school. I mentioned in the last session that the first principal was an Australian, and cricket is a popular sport in Australia.
Yeah.
So I think we developed a cricket culture that is quite strong and still goes on till today.
Till today, okay.
What happened was that the old boys built it back.
Okay.
We had an old boy who was the president of the National Cricket Association, and he took it upon himself to put back the game in the school. And it's amazing, it's going on well. Well, at homecoming, we do all this, and we invite keynote speakers. We choose topical issues for them to discuss. In our association outside the country, the diaspora wing of our association, they have annual conferences, which is annual. Every year they have the conference, So this year, we decided that the conference and the homecoming should be held together. Since the homecoming, this was the 3rd year and the homecoming was due, we asked them that we hold it all together in the school.
Let me ask something,
Yeah.
sorry. So diaspora have annual conferences.
Conferences.
Do the people in the country also have annual conferences?
We have what we call NDCs, National Delegate Conferences, which is like management conference to run the association.
Okay.
It's quarterly. In a year, you have about 4, 3, depending on what, the logistics. But the diaspora group, they use that to meet themselves because they move it from one place to another.
Okay.
I mean, the last one was I attended was in Jamaica. And
2019.
Yeah, 2019. After that, they have had in I think Atlanta. You know, they move around. And so when it came up this year, London was proposed, and there was another place that was proposed. Then Nigeria was also proposed, and
now you've jogged my memory. Actually, in 2013, they had it in Washington, D.C.
fantastic.
My husband attended that.
Okay. Okay. So they have it every year. But this year, for the first time, they had it jointly with the homecoming.
Okay.
So it's a massive event and it's the first of its kind. And my brother here, Ejiofor, was the person that gave the keynote address.
Okay.
The guest of honor was the governor of Nasarawa State, Sule.
Is he an old boy as well?
No, he's not. But, you know, we look at the qualities of our invitees. The Nasarawa governor is an engineer of repute. Mm-hmm. And we felt that, you know, he can come and speak to us.
As an inspiration.
As an inspiration. Of course, his colleague, the governor of Ebonyi State, was his host. And so, you know, it was a massive event.
Wow, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
So, and for the Nasarawa group, it was an eye-opener because the governor couldn't come. We had assurances he was coming, but it coincided with the day the APC had their launch off for their campaigns.
The flag
off of their campaign in Kano. So that had to take them away, but they sent representatives at the highest level. And the Nasarawa representative, I remember him saying that this looks better than some universities. It was amazing if you see what has happened in the school.
Yeah.
So it was a good event.
Well, we thank you in advance because you're going to share some clips with us, right?
Yes, we will.
Our audience can indeed get a feel of that exciting day. Yeah.
Is also teaching.
This is very impressive.
This is very impressive. Congratulations.
They are not only useful, they are also useful.
You're already guiding them in their future practice.
Yeah, there's skill acquisition. So, we had that event. Our diaspora colleagues who could make it were with us. And it was a joyful outing. It was a joyful outing. I'm sure all of them will have something to say about it. Let me not take the whole day.
It was streamed live, so alumni all over the world were able to tune in and follow us. I was struck during that 3 days of the homecoming and convention as to how beautiful that campus is. It's an amazing place. And, you know, after all these years, you know, school opened its doors in 1953. To imagine that that campus is as beautiful as it was then. But you know, the colonial governments, they would always pick areas of scenic beauty
Yes.
to,
true.
to establish these kind of institutions and so on.
Yeah.
And Afikpo is an exceedingly beautiful place. At the edge of our school compound is the Cross River that flows all the way from where? Calabar to
Cameroons, yeah.
to the Cameroons. It's an amazing place. But the work we had done as alumni really brought out the beauty. Let me go back a little bit as to the structures for your viewers. For the alumni in Nigeria, we have the Old Boys Association. That's what that organization is called, OBA, Old Boys Association of Government Secondary School Afikpo. Our alumni in the US are under the structure of GSS AAA, Government Secondary School America, whatever.
Now we're mystified. Which is the Tripoli?
Triple
Afikpo
Okay.
American
GSAA.
Association.
Yes.
Okay.
And oh no, it's they have been their support has been
Massive.
oh it's been incredible. It's been incredible. So that association is all of North America, all right, and so they don't have any particular headquarters, which is one of the reasons why the annual conventions, they go to different cities, including Canada,
Okay.
the islands, to have their annual. That is the only time in the year they get to see themselves physically. The rest of the year, but us in Nigeria, because of the proximity, we do see ourselves, the different branches in the different towns in the country. We see ourselves fairly regularly. So the homecoming and convention was awesome.
So what was your keynote address on?
The theme was
Taking charge.
of
Of the
the future.
I like that. I think we also need that for 2023.
Taking charge of the future, yes.
Initially, when I was advised the theme, I said to myself, "Oh my God, the future doesn't look too bright, though." But I mean, in terms of the country, but it's all right. One had to think about it. It is the future of the school, of the kids in the school, of the future generations, and so on and so forth. That's what we needed to focus on. And the future, more than anything else, is equipping these kids with the skill sets they need for the country to benefit from. When the colonials established the school, for Afikpo, they were looking for kids that would go into the sciences. That was the skill set that they wanted. And they succeeded horrendously, to the extent that from 1953 to 1967, onset of the war, 90% of the kids that graduated from that school were either doctors or engineers or academics.
I think that reminds me of
90%.
Umahia Old Boys too.
Yes.
I think that was
Umahia was a little wider. They also had liberal arts. So they had
Chinua Achebe,
yes, the lawyers, the
Okay.
writers.
Well, Umahia.
But
Okay.
Afikpo was strictly science.
STEM.
I would say that I was one of the few non-science people that graduated from the place. And it wasn't my fault, just that I found out that physics and chemistry and math wasn't.
Wasn't a mountain you could climb.
So they were looking for doctors and engineers and scientists. Today, we're looking for a whole lot more. We're looking for A1 skills. We're looking for, in addition to the doctors and engineers and sciences. So I think we have our work cut out for us now, more than even was, at the beginning of Nigeria.
So the future is more complex.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The future is more complex. The demands are different.
Absolutely.
And so he talked about AI, ML. These are the new areas. And because of this, that school is probably the only school today in the Southeast that is equipped with a functional VLI installation. Virtual Learning Initiative.
Oh, okay.
The students stay in that school and learn with students all over the world.
Wow. That is good.
Yeah, massive. And it was deployed by the Old Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That is worth sharing.
Yeah.
Worth sharing, because this is something that can be emulated in so many other schools in this country. And so you had a huge turnout for that event, both in country and out.
Yes.
And did you feel a strong pledge and support?
Okay, if I may comment.
Yeah, sure.
If I may comment also, because in coming up with a theme for the homecoming, we took cognizance of the fact that the future, the Old Boys had done what they needed to do, but the future looks very challenging. And we needed to prepare the current students and the students to come that will get admission into the school to prepare them to face this challenging future. In fact, the Old Boys, the national president maybe will still come back to that point. The Old Boys are working out an arrangement with the school where they will come into some partnership with the school to provide management, because over the last couple of years, 10 to 15 years, the Old Boys Association has put in a lot in terms of the infrastructure, like they've mentioned. Also, the governor of the state, who is an Old Boy, has put a whole lot in terms of infrastructure. He has started all the roads in the school. He has provided new fencing, street lights, generators.
No wonder the scenic beauty came out.
Yes, so the school, the infrastructure investment that the Old Boys have done, we estimate is over in the name of more than $1 million.
Wow.
Yes.
$1 million?
Dollars, not naira.
No, it's a lot more than that.
Okay, so
it is a lot more than that.
We'll have motorized borehole, we'll have modern science labs.
I think I'm going to move to Afikpo. Old Boys.
You can bring your children to come, or grandchildren. Their grandchildren to come and school. So the next level is this same, because the Old Boys are passionate about we've done the hardware, which is the infrastructure. We're now concerned about the quality of education.
Yeah.
Because we spent the previous decade or more or so to put infrastructure. So the key thing for the Old Boys out of this convention and homecoming was the next level. And at this point, I would like the national president to talk about.
The convention also usually will give us an opportunity to have a first-hand check on the projects we've done there. We inspect the projects, and it helps us to know how the management of the school is running the school.
Sorry, let me ask you an interesting question, really, because okay, you said you have quarterly management meetings because you have built and developed, you've done excellent work on infrastructure. How do you maintain? How do you keep an eye and sustain it, indeed?
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's a challenge, because the school, they don't have a lot of, they don't have resources. And you find out that maintenance tasks, teachers, parent-teachers association, since there is no vote for that kind of maintenance from government. So it's, you find we keep intervening as we can. That's the Old Boys. And maybe when we go into the next session, that will all come up as some of the motivations why we have the plan for the future. But right now at the homecoming, what it does for us, and especially the one that is combined with this conference, is that the students listen to us. For instance, about taking charge of the future, which he talked about. We joined them in parade because it was on a Saturday. Usually on a Saturday, we have what you call inspection. Students stand by their bed and the principal goes around to note those students that are not quite tidy, to note them, and then you score the houses. Then they come out to the field and line up behind the house flag and march to the rostrum where the principal and the school captain addresses the students.
Okay.
And we join them to do this march past. Every old boy joined his former house, the house where he was as a student.
Okay.
It was very exciting.
That must bring back memories.
Yeah, it was very exciting. So we did all that, and the boys were in high spirit. They were in high spirit. You know, it's usually...
They're bound to be. Yeah. I mean, it's a remarkable example, really.
Yeah.
3 days devoted to being with them.
Yeah.
And in which they see you doing everything they're being asked to. I mean, to me, it's so exciting. No child can see that. See these distinguished fathers and grandfathers with them doing it, re-emphasizing to them that they are in an important place.
Yeah.
And that there are lessons for the future to be learned here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. That in itself is a whole learning. It's a whole module.
Yes.
Yeah. So
also we had an outstanding project that was commissioned during the homecoming, the School Captain's Lodge.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that.
Yes, please.
Okay, School Captain's Lodge.
You know, the school has a school captain.
Okay.
The school captain is head of the prefects. Every house has a house captain, but then the school captain is, I mean, as a student,
they call them school prefect.
In other schools,
we call them school captain.
In government secondary school, the school captain is like a god. You know,
so much authority, yeah.
When we entered the school, for you to see the school captain, and he had his own apartment, which was the school captain's lodge. But this year, during the homecoming, our Lagos branch renovated that school captain's lodge. And in our NDC, the management meetings, it was agreed to rename it after the first school captain of the school, Afikpo Eta.
Oh.
So it's now called Afikpo Eta Lodge. You know, and it was commissioned during the homecoming.
This event in October.
Yeah. By the second school captain of the school, who is a traditional ruler and the chancellor of the university in...
University?
No. It's one of the universities in Yobe. I think the Federal University. Yeah.
He's the chancellor.
He's the chancellor.
Another illustrious son of
He's an engineer and architect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I am blown over by your description, and particularly by the intimate interaction for 3 whole days with the students. It's invaluable. That is something that cannot be quantified.
Yeah.
And it leaves me with admiration for the old boys. I am personally saying, don't ever give up. It's a wonderful example that needs to be replicated everywhere. Yeah. As we try to model our young people for the future. And so now I have said the future. We will again take a little break, and when we come back to our viewers, I'm saying we will come to the epic of this discussion.
Before you let us go, let me just make a correction. He's Chancellor of the University of Guzo.
Guzo, okay.
Yeah. Architect Ewa Elechi.
Okay, great. You remembered his name.
Yes.
Yeah. No, people like that, they deserve to be recognized.
Yes.
And I'm happy we're able to say that because he's done well and he needs to be acknowledged and recognized for himself as well as an example. Yeah. So great. We thank you for continuing and being patient with us and discussing with us. Even as we say to us viewers, don't go away. We're coming to perhaps the grand finale of this discussion, where these wonderful, distinguished gentlemen will actually now tell us concretely what they are planning to do for the future, you know, in terms of the school and the young people, and as alumni and old boys. Thank you. Stay with us.
Thank you.